Hey everybody, in today's video, I haven't done a video in a while actually, but today's video, I'm going to try to make this video as fast as I can. It's pretty much just a video on how to do ternary, or if that's how you say ternary operators. Hold on, this is really long. Basically what ternary operators are, is it's just a way of assigning variables, and these variables can have, it's basically like an if statement, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about in a second here. Okay. Don't need to mind that, which would be this one. Okay, so let's just get straight to it. So if I were to create two variables, x equals 1, y equals 2, and let's just say if x is equal to 1, then y equals to 2. Oh, well, 3, right? Most scripters would do this, where if they would do if x is equal to 1, then we want to make y is equal to 3. You check in and make sure that value is specific to another value, and then, or comparing values, and then you'll set the new one. Now, the method I'm going to teach you only works if you want to specifically only assign it. That's it. You're not going to print something. You're not going to do more than one thing. You're just looking to give it a assignment. So if I was also saying y equals to 3, z is equal to 7, print hello, we wanted to destroy something, like if you want to do multiple things, it would be on an if statement like this. If you're just looking to assign a operator like that, we would do ternary operators. So basically, I'm going to just get straight right into it. What does a ternary operator look like? I'm going to give you an example right here. Let me grab it. Okay, let's go back. Okay, let's grab this, and let's just say local bounty, and let's just say local data, just so we can get those green lines out of the way. So we're just going to read this, right? Let's also get rid of this as well. So what this is doing, we're first going to get rid of the or here because we're going to get a little bit too complicated in there. First, we want to just learn this part. What this is saying is, I'm going to grab Paint real quick to explain this to you. It's saying bounty is equal to data. Let's just read it from left to right. Okay, bounty is equal to data. Okay, but what happens if data is like a false, or it's like an object that doesn't exist, right? Then you'll get an error, right? If it was an object that obviously didn't exist, and you were trying to assign it, it wouldn't work because it does not exist. So the way we combat that is we have an AND operator. This AND operator basically, let's draw a little bit here. Alright, that's cool. So just say we have this gate, right? I can't even. Just have this gate right here, right? Okay. And then data. Okay. So just say data was, just say it's false right now, okay? It would say if data is equal to false, okay, then we're going to return itself, okay? This AND operator is always going to return itself. So just think of this. Let's just grab a text tool, type in data, and then here we'll type in data bounty. Okay, let's get my brush back. On this side it's data, and on this side it's data bounty. Okay, now imagine we're a person, let's change this to red. Imagine we're a person, we're walking in, okay? Now, we're asking data if we can go in, right? Data says no. Okay, if he says no, then we got data. Okay, it gives us data itself. Okay, usually if data said no, that means it's false, so it will give us false. So that means bounty would equal to false. Okay, But if data was equal to something, like true, if it's equal to a number or anything, then it would be considered true. Um, so then that means data is like, yeah, sure, go ahead, you can go in. Okay, we're gonna go in, and then we meet this person, and then we grab him. Okay, so now we have data bounty. Now whatever, that's a table by the way, whatever is set for that variable, then that's what it would return. If it had 200 as the variable, if it had 300, 400, 500, doesn't matter, it would always return that number. Um, so if I can, let's make this more simple right now. Let's change this to false, and let's change this to true. And I want to print bounty. Okay, let's really quickly go back here, and I'm going to change this, make this false, change that to green, make this true. Get my brush, just make it black. Okay, so bounty, we're going, and now since bounty is false, we would grab false, and it should print false when we test this. Let's try it. It prints false. If I were to flip this around and change this to true, like so, and we gotta, I don't even think I can grab it. Oh, yeah, I can. If I were to flip that around, like so, and then I'm walking, can I go in? Yep, true. Okay, gonna go in. I want to grab false now. And then it's basically like you grab them and then you walk back out. Okay. Same thing with true. If true was false instead, we would grab him and then we would walk back out. Okay. Uh, and this would print false. Yep. All right. Now, that's not the only thing you can do. Okay. What other thing we can do is the OR operator. The OR operator is it pretty much the same thing as AND, but it just does the opposite of what you did before. So now all you have to do is remember that trick I told you of, okay, if it's true, can I go in, then grab this. If it's not, then I grab the person that told me no. This is kind of the opposite way. So if I'm walking in and then he tells me, yes, I can go in, then I'm going to grab him. Okay, and then I'm gonna leave. Okay, if it was in the opposite way, if I put him here and put him there, if it was in the opposite way, and then this person tells me, hey, can I go in? And this person does tell me I can't go in, then I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna grab him, and then I'm gonna leave. Okay, so it's just doing the opposite of and. Okay, instead of saying yes, you're allowed to go take that value, it's saying no, you can't take that value. So let's go try this. If I do this, so what this should do is this should print true. It runs, okay, there. So you see it prints true. That's because it tries to go past true. Can I go in? He says yes. But since this is an OR operator, what he does is just takes true itself. If I flip this around and I change that to true, so what this can say, hey, can I go in? No. Okay, well, I'm going to go in anyway, and I'm going to take them. It's doing the opposite of the and. Now, what you saw me doing earlier before was I had this, and I had the or at the end. Now, what is this doing? I'm going to explain to you. I was making a data script to load in data, and I want to make sure that there is data before, so I don't have to do an if statement and then do it. I just did this. So what it's doing is it's saying bounty is equal to, and now if data, let's just say there was data, okay, then it's an and operator. So if it's true, we pass through. Or if it's anything that holds a value, we'll pass through. And if there is data, then we're going to go ahead and we're going to grab this. Okay, we're going to grab data bounty. And now data bounty would equal to a value because there is data. You don't, it doesn't really, we could change that to 5 if we want to. So if there is data, we're going to say bounty is equal to 5. Okay, now this is where the interesting comes in. Interesting part. If bounty is equal to false, okay, there's an OR operator here. Okay, now like I told you before, if it's so let's just go back to the part where it's data is equal to true, right? If I said, and we're reading from left to right, okay? If data, and there is data, okay, we're gonna have data bounty, okay? Now, data bounty that has a value in it, so it has to be true, okay? And then there's or 200. Now I told you before the or operator instead is checking to see if something is true. So if you're true, it says, hey, can you go in? And it says true, and it's the or operator. It will be like, no, you can't go in, and then you will grab him, okay? So it's going to grab data bounty, and since this is first and it's equal to something, it's going to grab data bounty because of the fact that it has the or operator, but if it was the and operator instead, it would instead grab 200, okay? Now, what's the point of this 200? So now let's just throw the case that data is equal to false. We have no such thing of data. It's going to say if data, and data is equal to false, so it can't pass through the and because it's saying, hey, can I go through? And data is like, well, whatever, whoever you want to think of is saying yes or no. The person says no, so it grabs data. Now just picture this part being removed. Now it's saying data or 200. Now it says it flips it. Now, data is equal to false or 200. Right. So, it's checking to see. So now I told you the opposite. So if data was true, then we would return false. But since data is already false, then we would return 200. So what that basically did is it checks to make sure that there is data. If there is a data, we're going to return the data. If there isn't data, then we're going to give 200. Now, you can do this any way you want. We could flip this around a bit. Let's try to get the same thing. Let's say bounty. If I were to change this to an R and this to an and, so let's see. If it's true, then so what we're going to try right now is we're going to try to think of a way to flip it away in a way so that it works this way instead. So that means we only grab this if this is equal to false. Actually, I don't think that would work at all. Yeah, it wouldn't work at all. We can't flip it around. But there's all the ways of doing it, and you can have lots of ands in here. If you get really into it, you can do and that, or you can do or another value of data level, and data, and you can add parentheses in these. By the way, they're just like in math. If you add a parenthesis around if an if statement, around operators or any expression, it will first do that expression first, so that makes sure that doesn't screw other things up. I hope this does help you. It really helps me a lot, and yeah, peace out, guys.